In the mid-19th century, the Indian subcontinent was undergoing significant administrative and cultural transitions under British rule. One of the regiments operating in northern India was the 26th Native Infantry. These soldiers were mostly recruited from regions we now know as Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and parts of West Bengal. They served in Lahore, which at the time was part of the Punjab province under British administration. In 1857, reports of resistance emerged from Meerut and rapidly spread across North India. These events influenced several regiments, including those stationed in Lahore. Historical accounts suggest that members of the 26th Native Infantry expressed concerns regarding their working conditions and cultural identity. As tension increased, many soldiers made the difficult decision to leave the cantonment. Their departure was not coordinated through formal orders. Rather, it occurred during a period of uncertainty in mid-1857. Once they left Lahore, their journey toward the Indian side of the Ravi River began. The movement was challenging. They traveled across varied terrain, far from their home regions. Some encountered administrative forces along the way, and a significant number were brought into custody near Ajnala. These individuals were then placed under the supervision of local authorities, who operated under British district administration. One of the senior officers handling the situation was Deputy Commissioner Frederick Cooper. His administrative memoirs, written after the events, mention the arrival of the soldiers but do not provide extensive procedural details. What his writings confirm is that the authorities faced increasing pressure to prevent further unrest. This context influenced the decisions made at the time. Archival documents describe that over 200 individuals were confined in a secured space pending further orders. The room, originally intended for smaller groups, was not designed to hold such large numbers. Administrative records note that by the time officials returned to inspect the confined group, an unexpected situation had occurred. Many individuals inside were unresponsive. This outcome deeply impacted all parties involved and required immediate decisions regarding the handling of the remains. According to Cooper's memoir, the remains were transported to a nearby well, later known as Kalyanwala Khu. The well was used to manage the situation in accordance with the administrative practices of the period. After this, the incident received very little attention in British documentation. The event was not highlighted in official reports and gradually faded from formal history. But in Punjab, the memory persisted through oral tradition. Families in Ajnala continued telling future generations that a group of outsiders had once been brought to the village during a period of unrest and that their final location was a well. For over a century, these stories were preserved not in books but in spoken narratives. Fast forward to 2022, the DNA study conducted by the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, CCMB Hyderabad, provided scientific clarity. The samples from the excavation site showed genetic signatures consistent with populations from the Gangetic Plains. This matched exactly with the recruitment regions of the 26th Native Infantry. The study confirmed what the archival records suggested. The individuals found in Ajnala were soldiers who had traveled hundreds of kilometers from their home regions during the 1857 period. This scientific validation brought emotional closure to the story. These individuals were not unidentified victims. They were part of a known regiment. Their journey from the plains to Lahore, from Lahore to the Ravi, and finally to Ajnala forms a significant chapter in India's historical landscape. Today, historians view the Ajnala incident as an important example of how local memory, physical evidence, archival study, and modern science can come together to reconstruct a forgotten event. The site is now recognized as a place of remembrance for soldiers whose story was silent for generations. The narrative of Ajnala is not one of spectacle. It is one of identity, movement, administration, and consequence. It tells us how history can be preserved in soil, stories, and scientific data even when written records are limited. As we remember these individuals, we acknowledge their journey, their origins, and their presence in a significant moment in India's past. The well at Ajnala stands today not only as an archaeological site, but as a memorial to those whose story returned to the nation after 160 years. Subscribe and follow Beyond Now, India, and comment Ajnala for more untold chapters of India's history.